Guys, we're going to start a unit out of our textbook called Fear. The collection is titled Fear, and I'm pretty excited about it, and I hope you are too. So I want to talk just a little bit about what this is going to look like because it's going to be a different kind of learning than you might be used to. So first of all, we have to start with the goals in mind, the end. What I want you to learn in the next 3 weeks. The first one is to learn our annotation strategy called signposts. We also call it notice and note. It's got two names. You're going to use it in 6th grade, in 7th grade, and in 8th grade. And in 6th grade, we set the foundation. You're going to learn the nonfiction in social studies and science, and you're going to learn the fiction in language arts, but you'll use them all whenever they come into play, depending on the type of text you're going to read. So that's what we use to read closely and to really help us better understand our stories. And it's a strategy that I have found, and in all the books I've read and all the classes I've taken about reading, this one is my favorite. So I'm pretty excited to share it with you. The other thing that we're going to attempt to do we're going to focus on for this unit is to answer these 3 questions. The first one is, how does the plot unfold? How do characters respond or change as the plot moves forward? Name an event and explain how it contributes to the theme, setting, or the plot. And how does the author develop the point of view of the narrator or speaker? Now, I do want to tell you that the way we're learning, some of this is, these 3 questions might look a little different depending on your needs, but these are the basic questions. And what I like about the signposts, going back to that, is that depending on your strength as a reader, they work no matter what. So those of you that are avid, strong readers, the signposts are really powerful for you too. And those of you that aren't real readers, you don't spend a lot of time reading, the signposts are good for you as well. So it all works together, and it'll make it more personable, I hope, in terms of challenging you in just the right way. All right, so let's keep going. The texts in our collections, we have different texts, and they're really awesome stories and poems and informational text in there. I've read the ones in our Fear collection, and I've read some of the ones in our other collections as well. But they revolve around this theme of fear, and it's not really like horror, scary fear, but real fears. The fear of standing up to your peers, the fear of heights, the fear of being left alone, the fear of dying, the fear of spiders, the fear of public speaking, just more of those real life fears. And so that's the type of fear that we're looking at. It has amazing authors like Margaret Peterson Haddix. She's the one that wrote several different series. One of them, I think it's called The Lost Children, The Hidden Children. And then she also wrote Found and that series too. So she's in there, and several others that are good. And then there's fiction and informational texts about fear. And I'm going to bring up the textbook real quick before I move on, except that's the wrong button, so we're going to try again. And so I'm in my collections, and I'm under the table of contents here, right? So I bring it up, and if it doesn't say collection 1 at the top, you're going to hit the back arrow so that you can find it. So you can see here is our collections. And now, of course, it's not letting me get into collection 1, so I'm going to try it again. See, that's always how so there's collection 1, Facing Fear, and you can see all the different titles that we have. The Ravine, the Jumping Tree, Fine, Life Doesn't Frighten Me, Fears and Phobias, and it goes on. So this is kind of where you're going to spend your time and find the text that we're going to read and focus on together. Okay, so I'm going to head back to the PowerPoint here. All right, then the process. You are going to work in groups, and I'm going to group you based on the type of project that you're interested in. It doesn't mean you'll do the project with your group, but it will mean that you've got this group of people that will read the text together, that will work together to understand the text and understand those questions that I showed you in a couple of slides ago, and that you can help brainstorm with each other and troubleshoot technology issues or whatever it is that has to do with your your project choice. So like if you were writing a short story, you could edit and revise with each other and get pointers, or hey, does this make sense, that kind of thing. So you're going to work in groups, but you won't necessarily create your project in groups unless you choose to. Okay. You're going to read, think, and discuss together. That's going to be the main portion of your learning. Reading some of those texts, as many as you can, really, and using the signpost strategies to work through those texts. And those signpost strategies actually drive your conversation, which is pretty cool. And just do that thinking together. And then you're going to show what you know. That's what this learning is all about. Can you show me what you know? And can you show a bigger audience what you know? And so this show what you know will be you answering those questions after each text and showing me and your group what you know. And then at the very end, you'll be developing a project. And I'll get to those because I don't want to take too much more of your time. These are just my project ideas. It doesn't mean that it's the only thing out there. If you come up with something awesome, just ask me. But I kind of went with the creative side. Podcasts and radio theater, like a reader's theater type thing. This one you'd probably do in groups. Writing a short story, writing a narrative poem, creating a stop motion story, or even more concrete. Those of you that just aren't that creative mind, or you don't feel like you are, teach someone how to read a text and what the narrative elements are, how a plot unfolds, and how an author does create the narrator's point of view and the different ways, the different points of view of a narrator. So you could show what you know by simply showing how to do the things that you've learned during our 3 weeks together. So with that said, what you'll do after watching this is go to the Google form and put your name in, fill it out, and pick the project that you think you're most interested in. And there is a spot for other and a place where you can type in your ideas if you've got one that I haven't thought of, which is awesome as well. So I will look forward to seeing all the hard work that we have, and we'll talk to you soon.